And Karika-san, yes, happy to bring you on later. I'll bring you later into the schedule. And Karika-san, yes, happy to bring you on later. All right, let's get started on this. I'd like to welcome all the panelists and attendees, almost an equal number of both. Get started on this. The General Assembly session at the end of an APAN meeting is an opportunity for everyone to see just the sheer breadth of activities that have occurred in the last week. Even the agenda pages on Hoover don't give you a sense of just the sheer richness of all the sessions that have been occurring during the week. And the number of discussions and topics and themes that have been occurring. So the General Assembly is an opportunity in a plenary to bring everyone together and get a very quick, and I mean quick, summary of all the working groups and projects and BOFs and other project sessions that have occurred during the week. It's also an opportunity to briefly thank our sponsors and also to get a brief keynote from occasionally potential partners of APAN or other interested parties. I would like to introduce today our main keynote speaker, although not talking for too long. Well, I'll give you as much time as you need, Raj. 6 or 7 minutes should be right. So Raj is the, I believe the title is Vice President for Asia Pacific for the Internet Society. And he and I and Francis Lee have been talking over the last couple of months about potential ways of developing a closer partnership between ISOC and APAN and the members of the APAN community. And he may address some of those things, but I'm looking forward to finding ideas from our community where our partnership with ISOC could be developed into something deeper and richer. We have some interesting ideas already, and I'm sure there are more to come. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Raj to kick us off.
Well, thanks very much, Marcus. Much appreciated. I shall attempt to share my screen. I've got a short slide deck. I won't run through all the slides, just a couple of them. And I hope that's coming through now. Can folks see my slide? Yep, all right, good, wonderful. So thanks very much to the APAN Secretariat, Marcus, Francis, and all the crew for allowing me this opportunity. And first off, let me congratulate the APAN Secretariat and all the people behind this event this week, including our friends from Indonesia, of course. Marcus, earlier you said that there were so many things happening this week, and I can attest to that. I found it a bit overwhelming, actually, and it was just I struggled to. I wish I could have attended more sessions and listened in, but unfortunately I couldn't. So congratulations on a job well done. I know these are strange circumstances we live in today with the effects of the pandemic, and but still being able to bring people together, of course, is so very great. So that leads me very nicely to why I'm here today. As Marcus pointed out, over the last couple of months or several months, we've been having some discussions on how the Internet Society can deepen our relationship with the APAN community. Over the years, I think we've had some ad hoc engagement. We've done some things with perhaps some of your members individually or in some countries, for instance. But we've never really had a cohesive or coherent approach to how we engage with each other. So that's something we've been working on, and I hope that we can bring some of those things or initiatives around in the coming months. Of course, we're also always open to ideas. So what I'd like to do very quickly, if I can make my slides work. There we go. Just a very quick overview of what the Internet Society is. I hope some of you are aware of us as an organization. We'll be 30 years old next year, so we've been around for a while. And pretty much ever since our founding, we've been very involved in the technical parts of making the internet work. That continues today, but obviously as the internet has evolved, so have we. So we have a couple of things that we do, including, for example, policy, engaging with policymakers and so on. But fundamentally, we still remain true to our roots, which is, we are a technical organization helping build technical infrastructure and ensuring that the internet remains, of course, open, globally connected, secure, and trustworthy. Some of you may know that we are the legal home or organizational home for the Internet Engineering Task Force. And over the years, that relationship has also, of course, evolved. In terms of how we organize, we have chapters around the world, we have special interest groups, we have individual members, and we also have organization members. In addition to that, we have partners, which is something, for instance, we're working with APAN on to see how we can come up with some sort of partnership so that we can, both work together towards a common good. I'll skip the rest and I'll share the slides later with the APAN Secretariat, so you're welcome to have a look at what else is there. This is where our main offices are around the world. Our Asia Pacific regional headquarters, of course, is in Singapore, which is, my other home, I suppose I could say. And then moving straight on, in the interest of time, I guess no one could ever have predicted what 2020 would do to the world. And I think we're still suffering from those right now, including where I am right now in New South Wales, Australia, where, we're in lockdown and looks like we will be for quite some time yet. One thing that's that's I think kept a lot of things going, and it's not just our industry or our sector, but pretty much every sector, is the internet and how people were able to use that and see how they could have some sort of semblance of normal life. Surprisingly, the internet and its infrastructure has remained resilient all through the pandemic, and it remains so. But at the same time, I think we can't take all that for granted. I think, there have been many challenges around the world, particularly in the education field, in trying to ensure that, our students, be they university students or primary or high school students, keep on, maintaining their education through all this. And so that's where I think, some of the potential relationships we have with APAN would be really good. Now, obviously, we all need to work together to ensure that the internet is there for everyone. And, we as an organization can't do it alone. Neither can APAN in what all it does. So, I think it's so very important that we collaborate and cooperate. In the little focus areas we have, there's always some sort of overlaps that we have. Now, very quickly, in terms of what we are focused on as an organization, so 3 things, basically. We need to make the internet stronger. Ensure that the open internet that has given us so much over the years remains so, and we're able to continue leveraging opportunities and maximizing the potential that offers. We need to grow the internet. I think we're all quite aware that, with all the achievements we've had about connectivity and access and so on, half the world still remains offline. And unfortunately, a large part of that half the world is in our region. So that's, I think, even more, we have to do something about it collectively. And then, of course, finally, we need to empower people. We need to give them the opportunity to do what they can, to maximize what they can do. And of course, as with the little, each person's individual contribution, we have a collective whole that can be so much better as a result. Now, to help all that along, we have 6 projects that we're focused on, and we plan to continue most of this into next year as well. One is building community networks. Now, you will see a lot of people are doing a lot of things in and around access. But fundamentally, as I said earlier, we still have half the people in the world offline. And further to that, most of those people are in underserved and unserved areas. So they are the hardest to bring online. The first couple of billion that we brought online was so much easier than the last couple of billions will be. So that's why we're pushing community networks as a complementary access solution, where people at the village level or at the local community level can get together and run their own networks and be connected and, of course, benefit from digital opportunities. Then there's, of course, the infrastructure and community development part, which is a bit where we are, of course, engaging with the APAN community on, which is ensuring that, the technical communities are there. We're able to support what they need to do. And of course, the continuous upskilling, that's so very important. We also have a project around measuring the internet, which is looking at the trends and data on the internet and what's been happening. I think it's very important to keep a track of where we are pedaling in terms of what's happening in the wider world. So there you'll see things like IPv6 and what the adoption levels are. But at the same time, we have things like monitoring internet shutdowns when people start interfering with internet infrastructure. I think I'm sure all quite aware that once governments and authorities start tampering with technical infrastructure, it impacts everyone. It's not just localized impact that's always the case. Three other projects very quickly. We have the Internet Way of Working, which is, when governments and other authorities make decisions, and even commercial companies, for example, bringing in a new technology or putting in new regulation, we're asking them to take an impact assessment of what is it that you're doing and what the potential implications will be for the wider Internet. So that's the Internet Way of Working, Internet Way of Networking project. Encryption, as more and more people come online, as we become ever more dependent on digital technologies, encryption is critical to ensuring that, we are able to exchange information safely, securely, and of course with privacy safeguards in place. Yet we see around the world, there are many attempts to try and tamper with encryption, to break encryption, unfortunately, including in my own country, Australia, where, we've had the government tampering with that as well, with some of the legislation they've put in. So, it's so very important that, if we want cybersecurity to be something that we all have, without encryption, it's very hard to do. And then finally, lastly but not the least, of course, there's securing global routing. Now, we all know that the internet is a network of networks. They all connect with each other voluntarily. But we need to ensure that the basis for those connections remain secure. And now I think we all also know that when the internet or the protocols were founded, security really wasn't a concern. People were more interested in getting stuff connected. But over time, I think security has even, it's progressively become more of an issue. And taking some very simple steps with routing security can ensure that we are able to, I like to say, ensure that the foundations of internet infrastructure are all well secured. We can fiddle with other forms of cybersecurity, but if our foundation itself, it's just like building a house, right? If you don't have strong foundations, the rest of the house, it's not much use having a fancy roof on the house when the foundations can't support that structure. So pretty much for that reason, I think global routing is so very important. There are many ways to engage with the Internet Society. I'm not going to run through all that. One thing I do want to call out, please consider joining us if you're not a member. It's free in the individual member category. Some of you may be interested in joining as an organizational member, so we invite you for that as well. We have some learning courses which are available freely. Please have a look at that. All the links are on that slide. And the last one, the Internet Society Foundation, which is not a very old entity, which we set up, that has some research grants available as well. So I'd invite you to have a look at that at the website and see if there's something you could apply from there, particularly in the work that you're doing. So that's all I had to say, but I do want to just reiterate that we would like very much to work with the wider APAN community. And part of my mission has been over the last several months to see how we can bring that about. And Marcus and Francis have been very kind in terms of their time and the discussions we've had. And I indeed look forward to see how we can deepen that in the future. So with that, thank you very much. And this has been a great event. And maybe I took too long, Marcus, so I apologize.
That's all right. You are very welcome to, given the opportunity to develop this partnership. We really look forward to it. And I think we've got some good announcements to make, hopefully in the not too distant future. Let me move along swiftly then and invite one of our other sponsors. As we have already mentioned, sponsors are quite fundamental to all APAN meetings, even the virtual ones. So can I invite Mr. Sawani Dwinanto from ID NIC?
Yeah, this is Sarwani.
Okay. Please go ahead.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks all the APAN 52 for the panelists and also the attendees that join this event. First of all, I like to appreciate that we have an opportunity to sponsoring this event. Apologize for Mr. Andi Kusuma as Chief of ID NIC. He cannot join this closing ceremony because he already have another meeting. But he sent the gratitude and appreciation for the successful of this event. This is also the first time ID NIC is sponsoring this event. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a good relationship and collaboration between us. It was a very exciting watching the session. I witnessed great, strong, and educational session during this entire event. But to everyone, due to everyone's effort and participation, it has been an unforgettable experience. And I hope everyone takes away some of the lesson that brought from this event. This is very an enjoyable experience and not just a fun pleasure. It's gaining more technology update. Finally, from us, this is a thank you again, and maybe all of you is blessed and in good health and happiness during this pandemics. I think that's all, Mr. Marcus. Thank you for the time.
Thank you very much. We greatly appreciate the support of our sponsors.
Yeah.
Let me move on to Chehu Cheng from APNIC, one of our long-term and good friends of APAN. Chehu, are you there?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Go ahead.
Yeah, in fact, I think I'll do it more as a partner of APAN than a sponsor of APAN. And in fact, I will also cover, some of the work that we are doing with APAN. Maybe I'll skip through the first few slides about what we are, including, of course, APNIC is a internet registry, and we do, internet development, and we do technical training. Our focus is internet infrastructure, and we do vendor neutral training. And our platform is APNIC Academy for the online, and also we'll use this as our branding for all of our training going forward. And we are very close to APAN, in fact, because most of the NRENs and RENs are our members. And we are also a member of ARNET because we want to join EduRoam, and we want to offer this EduRoam service to our members who are also Academy users. And we can also make use of ARNET to have good connectivity with R&E networks. And we are still struggling to join EduGain for our Academy, but hopefully we can have it set up by the end of this year. And, the most importantly, I think is, we are now even closer with R&E community with our close relationship with Y Project. I'll talk more about that. Well, for this APAN, we have done quite a bit. We did a half-day tutorial on the introduction to Surukata intrusion detection system by Warrant. We had up to 25 concurrent attendees this time, but only around 7 attended from start to finish. I think it's all right, but it's always a challenge to do training in this kind of a conference setup. Online is even, of course, more challenging. And as for the labs, one of the labs that we did is actually available on our Academy platform. So even after the training, people can continue to do the lab on our platform. And we welcome inputs for all the future APNIC training for APAN. And of course, we'll continue to do training. And other contribution by us, like Atlee, our senior internet security specialist, he chaired panel on cybersecurity vulnerability within APAN. I hope you did a good job. And also chair a session about ArenaPack and related network plans at the network engineering workshop. And we also have Jamie to help with the technical support. He is also a co-chair of security working group, but according to him, he has not done much this time, but yeah, I'm sure he will contribute more in the future. And yeah, I just mentioned we also a sponsor of this APAN, and in fact, we are very willing to continue to sponsor future APANs. People might be interested in our recent development regarding our trust together with Y Project. You can see it from here. Is a collaboration with Y Project, and the trustees of this trust are Jim Murray and Paul Wilson, Director General, and this trust will provide funding support for Internet RE development projects in Asia Pacific. And we also have APAN Foundation to help do fundraising, not just from the trust, but also from other funding sources, and then help manage the projects. And APAN will be the executor of the projects. And a bit more about ArenaPack. In fact, there was a presentation at the Network Engineering workshop by Sai Sang. But in short, it's a new regional R&D backbone for Asia Pacific. It's part of APONET. The funding is from the trust operated by Y Project with the support of APNIC. There's already a 100 gig circuit between Guam and Tokyo up and running and leveraging GOREX, and it will connect to GXP Tokyo very soon. And there will be another circuit, shared circuit between Guam and Singapore to be up in 2 months' time. This is in partnership with Internet to RNet and Transnet, leveraging GOREX and Singaran Open Exchange. And we'll add circuits between Guam and other economies, including Philippines and Indonesia, one by one. And you can refer to the presentation through this link. And we are also, of course, having AIII Soy Asia. Both are the projects under WIDE. And now it will leverage ArenaPack network going forward. And it's also had this, it's having the funding from APNIC Foundation and APNIC, the trust. There is a program which is in the making, which is called Asia Pacific Internet Engineer Program, which is supposed to be a program for training the internet engineers with field work after all the training courses are completed. And this is in partnership with ATAC in Japan and leveraging our APNIC Academy platform and contact. And I foresee that there will be more collaboration with APAN community in the future through this initiative. And you can refer to the link here for more information about this and of course other related activities. And back to APNIC, the future of our training and academy. We will, scale up and grow our training and technical assistant capacity substantially with the funding of APNIC Foundation and our trust. And we are hiring. If you have, students or other friends and partners who are interested to join APNIC, you can click on this link. And of course, all our training and technical assistance activities will leverage our APNIC Academy platform, and we will use it at the branding, and we'll construct good training content curriculum. And we also are expanding our community trainers network. We will recruit, operational engineers from around the region to help us to do instructor-led training and technical assistance in local languages. And we are looking for more partnership with universities, friends, and others via APAN community. So that's why we treasure a lot our relationship, our engagement with APAN. And our ultimate goal for the training is full certification with full curriculum. That's all I want to say. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Jehu. Always appreciate yours and APNIC's wonderful contribution. And I think Adley and Jamie understate their contributions. They are very active and extremely valued. So thank you. Let me invite Yunjin from Tainstar CC, who oversee the Asia Connect project. A very valued program of activities. Yunjin, are you there?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, okay. Just a minute. Okay, hello everyone. This is Eunjin Ha from TenSACC. Actually, today it was supposed to presented by the executive officer Louis Hyunho Choi, but he's engaging in other session, other meeting at the moment. So I will update about the Asia Connect at the APAN 52. During this, the APAN 52, we participated in the 10th of Asia Connect Governors meeting and the project meeting traditionally. And also we support the sponsorship as a gold sponsor for APAN 52. Actually, when we meet in the face-to-face meeting each other, we usually host for the opening opening reception for APAN people, but unfortunately we still meet in the virtual meeting. So we sponsor for the APAN 52, and we will also the close collaboration with APAN in the future as well, because APAN and the Asia Connect has a long relationship and traditionally very close collaboration every APAN meeting. So in the 10th of Asia Governors meeting, actually it is a close meeting for the Asia Connect governors who are composed with each advanced representatives and relevant parties. So this time among the 24 Asia Connect partners, 16 the governors attended and the 5 steering committee members they participated. In this meeting, we make the very important decision for the Asia Connect project management, such as activities and network connectivity, and also the selection of a COFO proposal process and etc. And the 3rd of August and Tuesday, we hold the 10th of Asia Connect project meeting. It was open to all 8 participation. And in this the meeting, we updated about the TAI network and energy updates and the MRAN updates, who were mainly from the developing countries like Afghanistan and Bangladesh, so, etc. And also we updated about the Asia Connect sub-granted project. Actually, at the moment, we have a total 67 Asia Connect sub-granted projects, but in the considerable limited time, we just shared the 3 projects. In the future, we are thinking to make more time for in the project meeting and introduce and share our Asia Connect project the activities. And the 4th of August, there was the admin assessment on the Asia Connect project, and chaired by the Seema from the NKN of India. There were the 6 panelists to share the what NRAN's needs for future and the what NRAN's needs for the future engagement and the future technologies for benefit to each NRAN's community and the users. So it was a very fruitful discussion, and then the NRAN's assessment will be very important pillar for Asia Connect project in the future. So I'd like to update about the Asia Connect project with the all APAN community. Actually, Asia Connect project is supposed to finish as August this year, but we extended 2 years more after the all discussion with the Asia Connect partners, and we got the final approval from the European Commission on the last April. So the Asia Connect project will going on by the August of 2023. And we are also under the discussion with the relevant partners and the European Commission for Beyond the Asia Connect project, because the Beyond the Asia Connect is very important for this community, for the sustainability and the continuation of our research activities and collaboration. So the TenSACC will close the communication with all relevant NRAN partners and relevant the stakeholders like the governors level and also European Commission as well. And also, I'd like to share for the rest of 5 months of this year, we are planning for the fifth of couple proposal selection. Actually, it has started more earlier, and at the moment we finalized the selection of a concept notes, and then those selected concept notes got informed of their result, and those the selected concept notes proposers will prepare the full proposals for the final selection. So it will be selected at the December of this year. So please keep watching on our website and Facebook as well, all those channels of our communication. We will share with all the APAN community and TANE community as well. Also, we have the enrollment needs assessment and the enrollment survey in this year. So those, the final report will be released end of August or the latest of September. So this will be also available in our website and the Facebook. So any update about the Asia Connect, we will share through all those web channels. And other else, so we are continue to international collaboration with all the RNE community like APAN, Joint, Karen, ASRAN, Internet to APNIC as well. So we will stay together for all those international RNE community bodies. This is my end of a slide. Actually, I want to close my presentation with the special thanks to APAN Secretariat and the APAN 50 local committee. The arranging all those different time zone and programs are tremendous work, but they did really great job for this week. So I really appreciate for all those staff, all those board, the chairs contribution and help. So until we meet each other, please keep well and safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Yunjin. Greatly appreciate that, and also the kind words, which absolutely I would also endorse. The people have done a wonderful job. Let me move on to the next speaker, the chair of the IAM Working Group and Task Force, Terry Smith. Terry, you there?
Yes, I am. Thanks, Marcus.
All right.
Share my screen with you.
Screen is yours, as they say.
Try that one. So, APAN Identity and Access Management Task Force. What we did this week, we had 5 days worth of sessions and so forth. Monday and Tuesday, updates from our Federation operators, and we're seeing solid growth is occurring across the region. For instance, India's got over 100 identity providers going and have now got 4 staff running their Federation and have made some significant improvements in their EduRoam service. Malaysia now has 29 identity providers and a new staff member, and are developing some really fantastic automation tooling to support their members. Sri Lanka has run a training activity in the past 6 months to train folk to add services. Indonesia is also developing tools to support their members and has growth in EduRoam. Japan, they're doing some really interesting work in advanced federations, looking at providing groups, levels of assurance, etc. Very focused on research, and their EduRoam and open roaming deployments continue to move forward. New Zealand have new connection options for services and improvements to their infrastructure. Australia, we're running our verification service, really pushing out our hosted IDP solution, and still have a very strong research focus. And Thailand is joining EduGain. So lots of activity happening in the Federation space. On Wednesday, we had 6 presentations. What's happening to browsers and how it will impact federated identity. It's a pretty scary talk about how browser developers are trying to solve one problem and possibly creating another. We had Sifalan or Malaysia talking about their accelerated adoption of identity federation, so some tooling they're building. Hidaki Goto from Japan gave us a really good update on what's happening with open roaming. we had the UK Federation provide an update on what they're doing, or some experimentation they're doing with Federation sustainability and looking at how to create income from their federation. And we provided, the AAF provided an update on our cloud providing solution. And finally, we finished Wednesday with a review of the iFire project, which is an Asia Connect funded project that we ran over the past 12 months to grow federations in the region. Yesterday and today, we ran some training, how to connect to and join EduGain, the International Service Federation of Federation. We covered everything from what is EduGain to running as a fully operational offering to Federation subscribers. We had great participation across the 5 days, and a big thumbs up to the APAN 52. It was a great event for us. That's me done.
Wonderful. Thank you, Terry. It's a phenomenal number of sessions you've been running this week. Great to see.
I am knackered.
But for the others that don't speak the Australian vernacular, it means that he's fairly tired.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Thank you, Terry. Let me move on to the next working group. And we do need to move fairly quickly. Jong-Hoon Moon, talking about the APRP working group activities. Jong-Hoon, are you there? If not, I'm not hearing you. If you're having technology problems.
You're talking about the medical working group?
No, the APRP.
Oh, sorry for that.
That's okay.
He's there, Marcus. I'm trying to get him to unmute.
That's right. I might just move on to the next one in the interest of time. He can have a go in a second. Farida, are you available to talk about the e-culture working group then?
Yes. Hi.
Please go ahead.
Okay, all right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Yeah. Do you see the screen? Hold on.
Yes, I see the screen.
Okay. All right. We are still in the mood of Olympics, right? So e-culture working group met on the 3rd of August. And we had our meeting. We had 6 presentations. That was unexpected. So we had only 1 session. So our session got added on by a good 40 minutes, but that was good. So we have 2 main topics: digital cultural heritage. We had 2 speakers. Chow Yi So shared her PhD research findings on digital application in rock art recording in Kinta Valley, Perak, Malaysia, West Malaysia. And then that was really interesting. And we had Safia Najia Suhaimi. She looked at her exploratory project, youth exploration of Malaysian cultural identity in local brands. And then we moved on to the second topic, which was teaching and learning. So we had 4 speakers. Tosh Yamamoto presented a progress report on his project that he shared with 2 other researchers from Taiwan and Singapore: curriculum and learning, environment development for global liberal arts education incorporating future work skills with a focus on social entrepreneurship in the realm of SDGs. Okay, and then we had Asaduzaman from Bangladesh, University of Dhaka. He looked at media dependency in disaster, a study on digital media usage of Dhaka dwellers during COVID-19 pandemic, and he said it almost doubled the number of people using, this network. And so far, he said no problem. So it looks good for the next APAN. We had Zainarul Rahman. She was presenting to us this new setup that she did, teaching online meetup, which is shortened to TOM, and COVID-19 transitioning from blended learning to online hybrid learning. And finally, we had Nadine. Oh, I forgot my screen. Okay, there you are. And then we had Nadine, who was also from Monash, and it's an important topic that she brought in, which is online intercultural training from challenges to opportunities. Sometimes when we do online teaching, we forget the fact that, we are still communicating interculturally. All right. And then next, more importantly, we had our, let me see, how do I go to the next one? Our, oops, it's not going, hold on. Our elections, and okay, there we are. So welcome back, Andrew, as our senior co-chair. And then we have 3 new co-chairs from all parts of the world. We have Tosh Yamamoto from Japan. We have Zainur Rahman, who is actually based in Australia. And we have Safia Najah Suhaimi. With the new team, we hope that we are going to bring different new topics, next time. And then some things that we discussed was actually Andrew actually did an update on our Asia Connect project. We're still wondering, we're still waiting. We hope that we can go on. And I'm glad to say that we were invited by this particular journal, International Journal of Digital Culture and, let me see, and Electronic Tourism, for the speakers in e-culture to submit a full paper, and they will be reviewed for the journal. And then I think after that, I think we are done. Actually, we are done. Yes. So these are our new co-chairs. We have 4 this time. I hope we are more energized to present in the next APAN. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Farida.
Thank you.
Let me pass on to Eric Yen, who will be talking about the Disaster Mitigation Working Group and the AP Grid PMA. Eric, you're good to go?
Yes.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Actually, I have two summaries of 2 activities at APAN 50. Let's start it from the summary of the Disaster Mitigation Working Group. 2 sessions arranged on August 3rd, and we have about 30 participants. The format of the sessions are a bit different from previous activities. In this time, we arranged a master talk delivered by Professor Lin Chuanyao from Taiwan, talking about the correlation between the air quality deterioration and typhoon in considering the topographic features based on the cases in Taiwan. And then the status of the regional collaboration is the same as every activities at APAN meetings. So the status was updated by Eric Yan. And we have a report from Professor Liu from Malaysia about the new the call, the concept note submitted to the new Asia Connect call. So we have a report about this new proposal to continue the regional collaboration, supporting the capacity building. And then we have a summary report from Director Sutat of HII in Thailand. And that's a milestone project, also funded by Asia Connect. That's the collaboration between the agriculture community and also the disaster mitigation community. So that's also one of the focus we've been emphasized in recent years on the collaboration between disaster mitigation, agriculture, etc. Try to extend in the this kind of cross-discipline collaborations. And in the regional collaboration updates, the participation to the European-funded e-science projects as a disaster mitigation competence center is always a primary supporting force for these regional collaborations. Because of these competence centers, we can enhance the regional services and infrastructure to support all the activities. And from this year, from 2021, there's a new phase of these projects and moving towards a open science under the umbrella of European Open Science Cloud. That's the new project called EGIS for the Advanced Computing Environment. So still we are part of this as a data space focusing on disaster mitigation and also agriculture. And the other thing, as I mentioned, that we like to keep extending the collaboration among working groups in APAN. Started from agriculture working group, disaster mitigation working group, and now we are very closely working with the open and sharing data working group. So this kind of collaborations inside APAN will go on based on the CREDA project, as I mentioned, the outcome experiences, and also the requirements from our partners. So that's the summary from the disaster mitigation working group. Can I go on to the APGRI PMA?
Please, yes.
Okay, thank you. The other activity in this week is about APGRI PMA. As you know, APGRI PMA is building the global trust fabric as part of the International Global Trust Framework, IGTF. In the beginning, the Federation of the Certificate Authority in Asia, we are providing the certificate for an end user, for the host, and also for services. Started from the high energy physics experiment. Over the past almost 20 years, now the services has been extended beyond the particle physics communities. So in many countries, they are supporting different types of user communities. In the meeting, we have only one session yesterday. We have 6 production CA out of 9 in Asia were present and update their status. They are HPCI CA from Japan, running by NII, Hong Kong University CA, IHAP CA, sorry, typo here, from Chinese Academy of Science, KEK CA from Japan, AGC CA from Taiwan, and also MyFM CA from Malaysia. Unfortunately, MyFM CA decided to become decommissioned from this year. So the primary activities this week is about the updates of each CA. Usually we have a self-ordinary report from each certificate authority, at least once a year. So most of the CA this time, they provide their status update. We have a new chair election, and also HPCI CA and I also share their ideas for building new AI based on the Gagooning. And the major directions in the future is that most of the CA are migrating to token-based AI to make the single sign-on or the identity federation access more easier to enabling the smooth interoperability between research and education and also the infrastructure parties. Also try to engage the user community with the AI framework in a global scope. So that's my summary of the 2 activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric. Greatly appreciate that. I know that the medical doctors are always incredibly busy, so let me invite Dr. Moriyama-san to present on the medical working group.
Okay, hello everyone. This is Dr. Tomohito Moriyama, a new chair of medical working group. So I'd like to introduce our activity in this APAN meeting. Okay, right. These are our activities in this APAN 52. Started at medical research and ended by a data working workshop. As you can see, many programs have been held in our medical working group sessions with a variety of medical fields, such as technology, rural healthcare, surgery, endoscopy, cardiology, ophthalmology, and fetal diagnosis. In total, 12 sessions was held and also 2 workshops we enjoyed. And around 130 sites in 31 countries were connected by Zoom. Many speakers and discussants and chairs joined and enjoyed our fruitful discussions. Numerous number of institutes joined from all over the world, and not only Asia, but also from other areas, such as Central Asian countries, Latin, or something like that. And via FUBA, the platform, this APAN 51, more than around 350 participants joined and watched our discussion. These are the photos of our sessions. The left top is endoscopy chair conference. The topic was AI. Because AI is quite good affinity with an image diagnosis, so now AI is widespreading in endoscopic field for detecting neoplastic lesion and also making a characterization of these lesions. So the famous endoscopist and also the leader of this field made a presentation on the advanced equipment in this field. And the right top is hepatopancreatic biliary surgery sessions. Many Japanese doctors made a presentation about the tips or a new procedure of this area. And left bottom is a rural healthcare session coordinated by Nepal team. The topic was how to tackle with COVID-19 pandemic in rural area. They showed us what they have done for preventing medical staff from this pandemic and also how to take care of the patient. The right bottom is technology session. The Indonesian guy made a presentation on the advanced modality for the education, especially for medical students. So during these programs, we enjoyed and also had a very fruitful discussion. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Moriyama-san. It's amazing the amount of content in the medical stream. For people that have not noticed, they are every day, full day from beginning to the end of the day and continuing after the General Assembly. Let me invite next Dr. Jong-Hoon Moon to talk about the APRP working group activities this week. Are you then? Yeah, he's sharing. We can't hear you though. Professor Moon, can you hear us? Can you send audio? Right, might need to still fix something. Let me move on then. Kasahara-san, are you available to talk about the security working group?
Oh. Yes. Can you hear me?
I can. Professor Moon, can you stop sharing, please, till we get your, thank you.
Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'm Yoshiaki Kasahara from Kyushu University, Japan. I'm a chair of our APAN Security Working Group, and we have two other co-chairs, Rakesh-san from India and James-san from EPNIC. First, initially we planned to have two sessions, two 90-minute sessions, but unfortunately I couldn't gather enough speakers this time, so I have to cancel the second session. I'm sorry about that. And we have usually we have presentation sessions during every APAN meeting, and this time we have 3 presentations, one from Japan and 2 from India this time. I think based on the FUBA, the participant is around 30, and I think by Zoom I saw around 20 audience joined. And first presentation was by Professor Ochiai of University of Tokyo, and he is running international collaboration project he's how can I say, giving a small proving device to some countries' local area network, gather information and try to find suspicious network activities. And he presented the current progress of his research. Unfortunately, due to this COVID-19, his deployment is suspended because he preferred to meet in person with the participant to pass the device and explain that function directly. So I hope in near future of APAN meeting, he will come to the APAN meeting in person, physically, and then he can pass the device and continue deployment and proceed his research. Next one is from India. She is a student of co-chair Rakesh-san, and her presentation was, first part was the large collection of summary of security issue and prevention about 5G and other wireless network technology. And latter part was some interesting idea of using artificial rain to attack the wireless network. So third one was also from India, Dr. Gupta of Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology India, and he presented the history and summary of last 2 decades of cybersecurity and digital forensics, and some insight of future technology and other things of digital forensics. I think his presentation contains many possible opportunity of research and development, and
recording stopped.
Oh. And I think this presentation
recording
material
in progress
is available in Forba. I think it is not ready yet, but I think it will be available soon. So
recording stopped.
If you are interested, please check this. And we will have similar presentation session
recording in progress
next APAN meeting. So please consider to join the or propose a presentation if you have any interesting topic about security. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kasahara-san, and apologies for those recording gremlins. Dr. Moon, can we hear your audio now?
Yes, I'm okay. Okay,
go ahead.
Yes, let me start. Yes, nice to meet you. I'm Jung-Hoon Moon from KST in Korea, and working for this APRP working group and the session reporting now. Our working group, the APRP, is meeting is Asia Pacific Research Platform working group. The aim is to deploy the science DMZ to deploy the Asian areas as the big data superhighway. And so we have three the major topics is to promote the HPC ecosystem in Asia Pacific region and to engage APAN members in the Asian countries. And finally, toward the setting up on the Asia Pacific Research Platform and become a part of the global research platform. And at this time we have 2 sessions and 10 speakers from 6 countries. And we have 2 sessions. The keynote speech is from one is the Eve Pops, and the second one is Jordi Ross-Geralt. And the research at the speed of thought of golden age of the global RNA community by the Eve Pops. And the second one is using the bottleneck structure to accelerate the network performance by Jordi. And the general attendees is over the 30 attendees. And our content is the country updates is Korea, Australia, and Singapore, Pakistan, and Malaysia, ISM, and the global trend. And the session 2 is including the technical issues. the RNA Together Research Platform development and by the Ki-hyun Kim from Korea. And the second one is using bottling structure to accelerate network performance. And Jordi by Jordi from US, and 100 giga DTN cluster over KIST Science TMG by Hong Won-taek from KIST. Fortunately, the past the ASIA the Connect project is a concept note as a name of this APRP working group. And the next round is we will try to make the proposal and to how can they expand it to our members countries the science TMG is the building and using something like that. Yeah, that is my the reporting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Moon. Thank you also for your patience. Can I invite Virchai to the stage, please? Talk about the open and sharing data and the CRADR.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, I'll start with this the CLADA that we had project under with the agricultural working group and then with the disaster mitigation working group that we got this funded from Asia Connect. Unfortunately, this time that the agricultural working group doesn't have it. So next time we'll try to make it. So the outcome of this collaboration project is that we train 190 participants in 12 countries. We have more of this because of the participant from ASEAN country member. And then we trying to get more women involved, and we succeed to have that we get 50%, more than 50% women to participate. And then we had one session of the summary and discussion, what we had achieved. And in the past 6 months, because the project supposed to be 1 year, but with the COVID-19 pandemic, it's shrink to 6 months. So, and everything have to be changed to be online. So, and then the very successful one, we think, I don't know that what the other people would say, and we agree that we would submit to get a second phase from Asia Connect when the opportunity is open again. And that's it. And we try to engage more ASEAN members to get involved in this both agricultural working group, disaster mitigation working group, and the second phase of this project if we could get the funding. Okay. And the open and sharing data working group, this we had 5 sessions, and it's 2 days, the 3rd and the 4th of August, and we have 10 honorable speakers from Australia, Japan, India, Taiwan, Thailand, UK, and UNESCO. And after that, the last session, we dedicate like 90 minutes, the whole session, to discuss what we would like to do. And the thing is that we realize that this the common problem we have, that the data sharing problem with the research. So we set our main goal that we would like to achieve to improve research, data sharing, and reduce information access pain, which by increasing the informatics and or, if possible, data sharing culture, which that we hope that among researchers within APAN can reach data for the research easier. So we need collaboration from all the working groups on this. And we point out 5 points initiative that we need to do. So each of these will become work packets for the working group with their own plans or for the support and implementation. So first, we would like to raise awareness, support capacity building, and undertaking needs analysis of open data standard and sharing services. But we will start it within Asia Pacific first, and through working with working groups and NRENs in the region. But we will need to discuss further through the mailing list or whatever media we would have. And then we would like to support the provision of data discovery. This is proposed by the Kasusang that is it easier to do first before we move to other, and we start maybe perhaps repository and associate services that we could provide working with the interested discipline. We already have guidelines on this, but we need to get contact, further information from Onami-san that Kasu-san said that the National Informatics Institute of Japan already developed some. So we'll wait for that. We would like to establish a framework of data standard interoperability and the best practices in Asia Pacific region, including metrics of maturity, and to share existing international guidelines and standards. Okay, we don't need to really do the new one, but we try to share the existing one. And this will help provide a forum for the stronger regional collaboration around open data across the region. Collaborate with similar platforms and groups. Perhaps we could work with the UNGGIMAP, UNESCO, GODAN, RDA to ensure that the global collaboration is fully supported. Okay. And then we have to, one thing that we need to start with, that we have to identify contacts for each country or NREN, that who really, well, not only just contact, who really can access and know how to access the research data locally and in the different discipline community, is also willing to work with us to make this work. Because sometimes when you get the contact person, and it's very difficult to get information from the person we have. So we need to really identify this. And next time in APAN 52, we agree that we would try to invite speakers and give some good practice from each country or from NREN to show how it works. And then the undertake deeper discussion after that, we will have again long discussion and into the needs, so we can focus more on what kind of data or research or discipline or whatever you need that we can have to really focus on. And then we need to engage with the working groups to identify the priority issue, needs, and wishes. And then we explore sharing activity with RDA. Yesterday, most of you should listen to, don't remember her name, Jennifer, I think, or something. That she's open for the work with everybody. So we will engage that, and then we will include the training and the workshop, perhaps in the APAN 53. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Viruchai. Moving on quickly, Brooke, talk about the common NREN information model.
Yep. Okay, so we had a BOF on Monday evening, Australian time, and on the common NREN information model. Go to the next slide. Oh, there, that away. Okay, as you can see, so the common NREN information model was an attempt to simplify and disaggregate the compendium data sets, so there would be contribution from around the globe aggregated up to a global compendium. Marcus was on the committee that started in 2009, and that resulted in Red Clara producing a compendium for its region for a period of time. And ASREN made a document as well in the middle of that period when they joined the collaboration. But as you can see, the compendium has sort of waned as a service. But we did hear from Engine that there will be a 2021 edition. So the 2018 Asia Connect Compendium will be updated and released by September. So that's good news. So there is at least some progress still happening here. But the only other version that exists is the Géant Compendium, except that has become very European focused of recent. So really the summary, the BOF was well attended. Hoover gives us different stats on 55 attending, 39 watched. I saw a maximum of 21 people sort of in the event. So I don't know how those are counted. I previously at that BOF missed that ASREN had made an effort in 2012. There was a call, the routing BOF believed that exposing some of this data would make it available. Would be useful to them. So there's some good news there. But also we reflected on the fact that we need to make this data, available and valuable to those that contribute it. Because if there's not any value in providing information about your own NREN, then it will wane again and it will disappear as it has in other regions, or at least never realized useful results. So there's lots of metrics that an NREN can be measured against, and the focus will be on automatable qualitative metrics rather than a survey of qualitative data in the first instance. And I think there seemed to be some interest, so potentially value in taking a charter forward. But I think maybe working with the routing BOF and reflecting on the results that come out of the September publication of the compendium would be the next best pause moment, which isn't that far away, on whether we look at constituting a task force and inviting more people to participate in the lead up to APAN 53. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Brooke. Let me invite Jennifer Schopf next to talk about the routing BOF.
Thank you, Marcus. Share here. Right, so the routing BOF has talked about having a charter with two focus areas, one an engineering focus, where we document possible erroneous routes and identify teams to address them and check in. And we actually walked through 4 or 5 possible erroneous routes as part of the meeting we had earlier this week. It would also have a policy focus where we work together to publish routing policies for different circuits and paths, including the preferred backups, and then verify if those policies are being followed. A number of participants chimed in about how challenging this was and how the need for this, because of how routes have changed over the year and added capacity, has made this a very complicated setting. Our next steps, we're asking APAN to make us a real working group. We have a charter in hand. The group will still continue to meet regardless. We've got a meeting actually in about 2 weeks where we're going to walk through the progress of some of these identified unusual routes. In early September, we're having a talk by Steve Wallace about manners, which is very closely tied to routing policy. And then in October, we'll try to have another tool talk, probably about looking glasses, which is another technique to understand routes. We've got a mailing list set up. It's part of GNAG, but we use the APAN Slack channel. We've got a web page set up as well. And 3 co-chairs, please get in touch with any of us if you'd like to join in. This group got referred to in a number of different working group sessions because I think these are problems that many NRANs or circuit providers are dealing with. As we've added capacity, data is not flowing where we think it should be flowing. So thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Delightfully quick, and also appreciate that it's 4 a.m. your time. So you're doing remarkably well. Slight juggling on the schedule. Can I invite Dr. Chenmei Shah to talk about his workshop on online interactive teaching? You're currently muted, sir. Dr. Shah? And you are still muted. Yes, I can see your screen.
Thank you very much, for being generous. So thank you very much, APAN, for giving us an opportunity to share our views on the work of making large online.
We're having trouble hearing you, Dr. Shah. Can you bring your microphone closer, please?
Yeah, again now can you hear?
That's a bit better, thank you.
Okay. So the workshop on making large online interactive. There were 2 sessions. One was in Thursday and second was in the morning 9:30. And what we tried that as we progress further in teaching methodology, right now the students are more focused on self-system and learning, and they focus on online teaching interactivity because in post-COVID era, people are more learning and teaching online. And what we try to analyze that what different methodologies which is offline, how it can be done online. We have tools which we have demonstrated and requested by the participants like delegates, exciting, reporting, in which perform polling that Bahut property, answer that and private. So these are the methods by which we can use the monitoring and improve engagement and engagement. For a psychology team, we can have an online tool like online copy, simulations, and data. These are the 2 methods which we have done in hands-on exercise with the student participants, and they are all engaged. In fact, we have also pressed upon the social media teaching because all students live video on social media. So how we can use their what finally, it was 2 sessions by around 50 participants, and I think that's to APAN for allowing us to share with you. Thank you, Martin. Thank you. We are open for discussion.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. We had still some technology issues hearing you there, but we've got your slides and we may get you write some notes for us. Can I invite, let me just check, Dr. Song, Wangchul Song, to talk about the AI-driven networks.
Yep.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you. Just a minute. Can you see my slide?
Yes, I can. Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm Wang Chul Song for chair of the AI-driven networks working group. I would like to report about our first sessions of our working group. Actually, it is our first event after our approval. Our working group's goal is like that, and then our co-chairs are 3 colleagues, including me, Then Dr. Hidesa Nagano is from NIST, Professor Huang Jiaong from BUPT, China. First working group statistics as follows. We had 2 sessions on August 4th. The first session chair was made by Dr. Hidesa Nagano, and second session was chaired by Professor Huang Jiaong. We had 8 presentations, and we had many attendants. The first session had 76 attendants. The second session had 35 attendants. As I said, we had 8 presentations, and the first session had 4 presentations. The first speaker was from ESNet USA. Marianne, she talked on ML-based data-driven prediction of network status in model-based and model-free approaches. The second speaker was from Chinese Academy of Science, China. He talked on AI-driven congestion control. The third speaker was from NICT Japan. He talked on AI-assisted resource control and management for server virtualization infrastructures with introduction to their server project. The first speaker was from our university, Jeju National University and Korean Forum, Korea. The APAC, he talked on anomaly detection system on Korean with experimental result. The following is the second session. The second session, the first presentation was made by KTI, Kim Hyung-woo. He talked on their autonomous network they developed. It was explained to be able to monitor traffic and detect network failure at Korean IP backbone network. The second speaker was also from Tsinghua University, China. He explained their method to mitigate the impact of microburst traffic by data-driven routing. But interesting point was that it is not based on SDN-based networks. He had done experiments on routing in the distributed manner of the traditional network model. The third speaker was from GIST Korea. She explained their framework as a DDoS generator based on their smart box on Korean. The final speaker was from University of Malaya, Malaysia. He talked on smart traffic engineering by designing their ML-based traffic prediction method. Those are our presentation. Our presentations. Also, these are the screenshots captured during the sessions. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Song. Can I invite Dr. Idris Suleiman to talk about e-research infrastructure and COVID-19? Idris, are you there? Not hearing or seeing you. Not seeing or hearing you. We may come back to you. Torrit from BD Ren, are you available to talk about the IPv6 research project?
Yeah, thank you, Marcus.
Please go ahead.
Let me share my slide. Although I committed Liana that I will go with extempore, but I found everybody is showing their slides, so it might humiliate SARNet because they organized this session. So I have the responsibility to lift them up. Okay, thank you. Thank you for giving me the floor. So this was a session on joint IPv6 project. As you all know, it's one of the biggest projects in terms of number of organizations. 23 organizations are there from 14 different countries. So they organized sessions in APAN 50 and in APAN 51, but those were little bit on the project update and to initiate the project. But this session was particularly very interesting because in terms of all technicalities, we had a session which was mingling with little bit technical, mostly legal issues. So it had 3 presentations. The first one was technical, that was project update by Professor Chen King An, an associate professor from Tsinghua University, China. And she presented the current status of the project, the challenges that we are facing, and the roadmap of the project. Sorry, I forgot. So the issue that came up that even with COVID-19, the project is moving smoothly. There is no impact on the neither on the strategies or on the roadmap. So we are moving fine with the project. We have already applied for ISIF funding. If that comes up, then probably the project will be a little bit strengthened. And the second presentation was from Dr. Pardis Muslimjadi Tehrani. She presented on global governance and regulatory framework of cyberspace. A very, very interesting presentation it was. She highlighted the framing of cyber laws in curbing the cyber terrorism and cyber attacks. So it came out from the session that we have two international laws at the moment: international law and international private law. International law handles mainly to deal issues between countries, and international private law is more personal. It deals with the personal issues. It was found that, or it was revealed, or it was the comment of the presenter that it is better to customize the existing laws that are there, international laws and international private laws, to frame cyber laws to curb cyber threats, cyber terrorism, than to go for framing the cyber laws from scratch. Because the technology, it is proactive. Legal issues, they cannot be proactive. If anything happens, then legal issues come. If anything new happens, then legal issues, they need to frame new laws, new regulations to curb that in future. That's why, considering the pretext, it is better to customize international law, international private law, to deal with cyber threats and cyber crimes. Then the last presentation, which was on data sovereignty and global internet governance, that was the most interesting topic I found there, because data sovereignty, if you know that, it deals with human privacy. So privacy, it was found from the presentation that only data sovereignty can protect your privacy. So two concepts were discussed. One was defensive mode, one was expansionary mode. I don't want to go into the details of that, but eventually it was made crystal clear that data sovereignty is important, is crucial to protect privacy, but at the same time, without economic sovereignty, data sovereignty is implementation of data sovereignty is really questionable. Another important thing that came out from the discussion, that why data privacy is important. Many people say that I don't need any privacy because I have nothing to hide. But that's not true. Everybody has something to hide, believe me. Because data privacy, it is quoted that data privacy gives people the right to be imperfect. And nobody in this world is perfect. Nobody can claim that. So that was the nicest takeaway from his presentation. And finally, we, the technocrats, we left the session with some positive notes, because there is a proverb in the industry that technocrats turn into legal experts can deal the issues related with cyber crimes better than traditional legal experts. So that was all in the session. Sorry, I have some snapshots I could collect. So these are the snapshots. Around 40 participants were there. And that's all. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Torrid. Appreciate that. Andrew Howard, are you there and able to talk about the backbone session?
So I'm presenting on behalf of Eves, Pop. The Backbone Committee Forum, this is the first session since APAN 48 in Putrajaya. The primary goal was to provide traditional R&E and subsea cable update, followed by a discussion of how to evolve the Backbone Committee going forward. It was agreed to keep the subsea cable capacity up. It was agreed that the subsea cable capacity update was most desirable, as it is of great help in setting the strategic orientation for the further evolution of the growing international R&E backbone infrastructure. The interconnected APANet, EAR ring, ANA plus North to South America to Europe, and South Africa and to Europe, as well as the South Africa to Europe connections based on multi-stakeholder cost-shared links, based increasingly in 10 to 15-year IRUs with agreements for mutual backup, transit, and overflow routes, make the GREN much more carrier-like, with the need to formalise multilateral backup arrangements, as well as paying closer attention to routing and routing policy. The creation of adoption of an APAN routing working group, as well as a GNA under GNAG, are great and essential steps in that direction. Further discussion will be required as to the redefinition and future role of the Backbone Committee, with eventual new charter to more closely complement other working group and committee activities. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. A neat summary. Konishi-san, the Network Engineering Working Group.
Okay, I would like to start.
Please go ahead.
Okay. Can you show my slide? No?
I can see your slides.
I can see your slide. Can I, okay? Can I start the report?
Please go ahead, thank you.
Okay, and we had a workshop, 2 days workshop, but and the total session is 4, and all presentation material are already on the websites of the program, and you can see this URL, http://www.jpapan.net meetings 2108 ID index HTML. If you can visit these pages, you can get the presentation material as well as a program. And we had 4 sessions. The first session is already Chief Chen made explanation. He's one of the manager of the Arena Park project led by EPNIC and WIDE projects. And this is a session of network plan. And Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, and Thailand delegates made a presentation. Currently, Japan, Philippines, Indonesia, and Guam, 3 countries are all, being already connected or will be connected soon. And Thailand is not decided yet, but they hope to be a member of Arena Park. And probably Arena Park people and Thailand will make a discussion how to realize a connection. And the second session is a network history, status, and plan. Professor Akira Kato, Japan, chaired the session. He is a member of WIDE project. The WIDE project is working with EPNIC for Arena Park project. That's why this session will focus Arena Park 2. But the other one, EU delegate, David West of GIANT is a leader, or was a leader of Arena, Asia Connect or TAIN network, and he made a presentation at this session. Basically, network history and future collaboration, he emphasizes. And the third session is Warwick Mitchell, Australia. And he is one of the chair of the routing working group, led by Jennifer of the United States. And the third session is a network plan and technologies. United States, China, Japan, Korea, and made a presentation. The total presentation is 18, and the last session, fourth session, was chaired by Patch Lee of 10CC Korea. This means in this workshop, I think collaboration between Arena Park and the 10 network or Asia Connect program are quite important for us in future. That's why I asked Jeff to chair the session, and also I asked Patch Lee to chair the session of APAN meeting. The third slide is lesson learned. Arena Park is a backbone network, new backbone, new backbone network. And they will use to IRU circuit for long term, for 15 years or something. And in this topic is a cost sharing model, and NREN should pay for the backhaul circuit between cable landing station and NREN node. In some countries, backhaul circuits are very long, very long. For example, 1,000 kilometers, and very expensive in some countries. That's why cost sharing, in this case, it's not so easy for NREN to pay for the backhaul circuits. Two possible solutions to overcome the difficulties. One is selecting the cable system near the NREN central node or operating center or something. And the other solution is new NREN or Arena Park international node will be set up near the cable landing station. This will happen in Indonesia. From the Indonesia, IDLAN has an operation center in the ITB University, but the cable landing station is far from ITB, about 1,000 kilometers. That's why new international node will be set up. And now they are working for a new central node, new node for the international circuits. And the first one is in case of Thailand. Thailand will have a new cable systems, and that cable landing station will be about 100 kilometers from the capital. And the second session, extend the member of RNE network based on VPN. Vietnam speaker made a presentation about new what was the technology of VPN to extend the members. And the second session, pandemic challenges with learning management system or Zoom. Sri Lanka people, there are many traffics over Zoom for the remote lectures. And lessons learned for slideshow is possible. Okay. And the second session also, we had next phase planning of India. NKN made a presentation, and at the next workshop, they will clearly explain about the new program. NKN had a history about, I don't know exactly, about 10 years or several years, but they made a very good achievement, and they are going to get a better fund, for the next phase program. That's why please expect that presentation at the next workshop. She was very positive to make a presentation at the next workshop. And fourth, 2 and 4, building a long-term human collaboration are critical for the members and the region. David West of GIANT was a program director of the TAME program, and he has a history to work for many international programs in GIANT, and he believes long-term collaboration. In order to realize long-term collaborations, human relation is the most important. This is he's not an engineer, but he has experience to organize and a successful project of TAME, for example. And the third session, Jennifer made a presentation, not just a network, but more tracking users and needs and performance check are critical for the next phase of networking. And the third, next, Cindy of Tsinghua University, Sanet, made a good presentation, and he said, IPv6 only network will be realized by 2030 in 9 years. And he has also explained about the next phase, PT, Future Internet Infrastructure Programs. And transition of the national backbone from 100 to 10G is scheduled next to first quarter in case of SciNet, Japan. SciNet is a national backbone network, provides backbone network. Currently, mostly 100G, and between Tokyo and Osaka, 2 big cities are connected with 400G, but all network will be connected via with 400G next year. This is a big challenge, and also this transition, they expect to finish the transition within 3 months, from January to March next year. And Koreanet stressed, science application is critical to expand the international circuits. They have a supercomputer and many applications, grid applications and working, and international circuit will be expanded next year. And Japanese APAN JP NOC said, service deployment on Kubernetes, their selected Kubernetes, and service deployment has been done. And next, これ動かない。next、どうして動かないんだ。調整悪いな。I'm sorry, next, okay. Okay. This is the last slide, and GPX Tokyo with layer 2 service has started, but we have experienced, the GXP Tokyo is already connected to commercial IX within the same building, and APAN JP consists of big 4 members. One is NSINet, JGN, and Marfin Agriculture, and Wide Project. These are 4 big members of APAN JP. And when we try to establish a GXP Tokyo, it took a few years because coordination with APAN JP members is not so easy. We have 4 big members in APAN JP, and it's not so easy to get a single solution. But thanks for the Muffin project, we got equipment for the Global Exchange GXP Tokyo, and we have established and started the operation of GXP Tokyo. Next speaker is Bhutan Ren, Drak Ren. Drak means Bhutan in her local languages. Drak Ren is expanding, more than 200 institutes under the government program of digital society. The keyword of digital society is was very important for them to secure the budget. And 3 advanced technology, Korea, Korean AI-based transport SDN and new IPSDN are adopted for the new infrastructure. And 4 and 5 is Hong Kong. Harnet was operating on HKOX services, but they stopped the operation, and they are focusing on the international collaboration through the switches. Harnet R&D node in the near the data center. And the last presentation is made by HKIX. HKIX has 9 R&D networks, whereas more than 330 commercial networks are connected to HKIX. Thanks for the big customers, their equipments and their system are well controlled, well managed for the network. Thank you very much. This is all. And these are just summarized by me, and please visit the program. You can get the presentation material shown by the first slide. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Konishi-san. Appreciate the good summary. So we're obviously running well behind time, and I would just want to flag that there were in fact another 4 presenters who were not available to speak today. I just wanted to wrap up the summary and then hand over to the local organizing committee. But I did want to just highlight my thanks for the wonderful team that's been supporting us throughout the whole week. I will let Andre talk about the local team. But I just wanted to call out Liana and Sean for their great work behind the scenes, pushing and nudging and scheduling and fixing Zoom problems. And I also wanted to highlight Jamie work on the technical committee, and Francis Lee on the program committee, who's stepping down at the end of this meeting, at the next program committee meeting. And also Andrew Howard for his phenomenal work, both on the technical front and taking on the role, hopefully, of as a new program committee chair. along with Andre, starting soon. Let me hand it over now to our wonderful esteemed hosts, led by Dr. Andre Satyawan. Over to you, Andre.
Thank you very much. Afternoon, everyone. It's a great pleasure to have all of you guys in APAN 52. And we are very honored from Indonesia to have more than 1,000 registered participants, actually. So I'll share about some summary report from the APAN 52. Let me see. Okay, these are some important facts. So the APAN 52 is happening from the 2nd of August until the 6th of August, which is today. And the local organizing committees, Universitas Islam Indonesia, we use Zoom and Woofa basically to use to deliver all the streamings and everything else. And quite surprisingly, we have more than 1,000 registrations on the Woofa platform. That's quite a huge number. You know, I was expecting somewhere around like 700, 600 maximum, but we have 1,084. Just like I did mention during the opening, hopefully the APAN 52 open, a new opportunity. As Francis mentioned many times during the meeting, that we need to have more young people in the APAN, rather than, of course the senior will still be there, but we need definitely more young people to engage more in this forum. And we have more than 39 economists that also joined this APAN. This is some statistics that happened during our meeting in APAN 52. We have 13 working group sessions. We have 6 workshop training sessions. We have 6 meeting special sessions. We have 5 keynote sessions. We have 3 panel sessions. We have 3 birds of feather sessions, and we have 2 sponsor talks. These are the WOFA statistic. 75% basically all the attendees downloaded the app, and the message being exchanged is more than 1,000. To be exact, is 1,210. Photos, people share photos even from last APAN, the previous APAN when we still had the thing offline as well. So they put some nice photos over there, some screenshots. Meetups also happen. 27 meetups created. And we have more than 228 attendees participated. And for the sponsor impressions, quite huge number over here, 135,787 the impressions. So basically when they open the WOFA applications or the WOFA website, the attendees, they will see the sponsor logo over there. In APAN 52, thanks to Marcus, we introduced special chat. It's being introduced as a new platform for social time. Basically, using this platform, it simulates what happened in a real room. When you are close to someone, you can hear their voice louder. When you are far from someone, the sound will be, the volume will be lower. And if you present something close to them, you can see the presentations. If you are far away from the person, you will not be able to see the presentations. It is really nice to have this special chat. Unfortunately, the use of this special chat is not maximum at the moment. We probably need to provide some more campaign in the future, especially for the APAN 53, and because this is a really nice platform to have. And for the local organizing committee, we have 23 people as the organizing committee. We have 14 volunteers doing the Zoom host for all the working groups. And we use the software called OBS and Restream basically to stream everything on YouTube as well. So during the first day and the second day, unfortunately for the Zoom, it was not HD enabled. And we have to coordinate with Zoom, request the support from Zoom to enable the HD on Zoom. And now you can see the Zoom actually when you see on your screen, especially on big screen, where the resolution is more than HD. It's basically at minimum is 720p or 1080p. You will see a clear, really sharp, nice on Zoom platform as well. And hopefully for the next APAN 53, all the event will be running on HD. But even though on Zoom during the first day and the second day was not on HD, we still have the Zoom YouTube recording, YouTube stream, which was presented in HD format. So some people asking about how did we set up things? So these are the behind the scenes photos. As you can see, we use the green screens, we use some lightings and everything else. The operators are using actually more than, he used like 3 monitors, actually 4 with a small laptop as well to monitor everything. So we can have like seamless movement from one keynote speakers to the panels and everything else. Yeah, kudos to my folks that they did pretty well during this, especially for the keynote and also the panel as well. And I would like to thanks to our sponsors, the Asia Connect project, TNCC, and also Comscope, APNIC, IDNIC, and Internet Society. Again, big applause for all of you guys. Without you, definitely we could not deliver this event pretty well. So hopefully, again, in the next APAN, you are still able to participate in our future meetings. For the media coverage, we have like 3 local media outlets, 1 national outlets and 2 local outlets that covered the opening ceremony, which was officiated by the General Director of Higher Education of the Republic of Indonesia. And this was the closing remark. I would like to congratulate and thanks to all of us, the speakers, the sponsor, all registered participants. Again, more than 1,000 registered participants. That was so amazing. With all of you guys actively participating in APAN 52, we had a pleasant and fruitful virtual meetings. Hopefully in the all working groups, special chats, spread of feathers, keynote trainings, and workshop, you'll find something that interests and you bring home basically, even though you are at home at the moment, bring home some good things and you can implement in your place. Also, big applause for the local organizing committee folks. I really have to thank to them for their time and dedications. Ensuring the meeting went well. Last but not least, big thanks to APAN Secretariat. Thanks for all the support. And most importantly, this is the one trusting us, Indonesia, to host the APAN 52 meeting. See you in APAN 53 in Bangladesh.
Thank you, Andre. There's virtual applause going across the room here. Let me invite the chair of APAN, Professor Jilong Wong, to the stage for some comments.
Okay. Thanks, Marcus. Dear all, I think it's time to say congratulations on the success of this meeting. And everyone here have contributed very much, including, I think, our local hosts, our program committee, the technical committee, and all invited speakers and guests, and our volunteers, and all attendees, and all session chairs, and our APAN General Manager, Marcus, and APAN Sec. Thanks everyone. Thank you for everything you have done for APAN 52. And here I have a special suggestion. I want to invite another APAN chairman, dear Jared, to make this closing comment. Because Jared told me he has decided not to continue to serve as APAN board. So I think it's time we invite Jared to say goodbye formally. So Jared, please.
Well, that sort of explains why I was given the privilege to be a panelist. I didn't know this was going to happen. You are bad guys.
Yeah, that's a surprise.
That's a big surprise. So let me say, this has been a really good conference. I'm delighted by it. I've sort of dipped my nose into various sessions, and it is actually extremely rewarding to see just how the spirit of APAN continues. In a very trying circumstance. I mean, to do this virtually and to achieve what we have with all the work that's done and all of the working groups and all of the panelists and all of the speakers, and the participants. There's been a consistent level of participation that's very, very impressive. So yes, I thank you, Geelong. I am going to not stand for the board again, but I'm certainly going to be following APAN, and I'm certainly going to be one of your participants from afar if we continue in this cyber role. And maybe the future holds a mixture of...
We can make it. So little bit scared, but in course of time, as we are moving ahead, step by step, the guidance, the advice, and all kinds of cooperation and help from APAN Secretariat, it's amazing. It's making our burden lighter, or the burden remaining the same. It is making our shoulder broader to take more responsibility. So I'm not going to officially invite the audience or the participants because my boss is here. He's the vice chairperson, Professor Dr. Dil Afroza Begum. She will give a small speech and then officially invite all of you to APAN 53 in Bangladesh. Hopefully, with your guidance, with your cooperation, also the cooperation and help of APAN team. I only mentioned Dr. Marcus, but Liana was extremely helpful. She is still helpful. And also,
recording in progress.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks to IDRN. Thanks to University Islam Indonesia. Now I will introduce my boss, Professor Dr. Dil Afroza Begum, to come to the floor, say something, and we have a small video for you. Thank you and welcome to Bangladesh on APAN 53 on March 2022. Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable APAN President, Professor Geelong, respected General Manager, Dr. Marcus, and distinguished guests, good afternoon. Let me introduce myself first. I am Professor Dr. Dil Afroza Begum, member UGC, and Vice Chairperson BDRN, as well as the convener of the local committee of APAN 53 in Bangladesh. Next slide. Let us have a brief of APAN 53. Host will be Bangladesh Research and Education Network, date 7 to 11 March 2022. Mode may be overseas participants will join virtually if pandemic prevails. Local participants might be invited to a venue provided the situation improves. Let us have a look into the roadmap of our preparedness. BDRN will perform the activities from August to January 2020. These are the activities are highlighted here. And APAN and BDRN jointly organize the events which are now shown before you. The progress so far. Committees, where is the slide? No, the previous slide. Committees, advisory committee framed, local organizing committee formed, subcommittees created, chief guest to be finalized by October 2021, selection of sponsors, offers to be sent, selection of logos to be selected, process has started, selection of software, maybe over, and budget, tentative budget identified. Registration fees will be free of cost. And registration starts from October 2021. Development of web portal will start soon. Next slide. I would like to introduce you a short video on Bangladesh history, culture, nature, and BDRN activities. Let us look into the video. Sound আসতেছে না? কি হয়েছে? Sound আসে না কেন?
Moment, please.
Our nation is proud of having a glorious heritage of a pleasant and melodious language, a rich and magnificent culture. Our dear motherland had been repeatedly ravaged by foreign invaders. The country had been subjected to outside subjugation, exploitation, tyranny, wanton repression and oppression perpetrated by foreign rulers. The foreign rulers wanted to destroy our language and culture. Our resources had been plundered and the economy and infrastructure of the country had been destroyed. Against the backdrop of such an unbearable situation and by unfailing law and quirk of history, the greatest Bengali of all time, the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the champion of freedom and justice, appeared on the political arena to establish the political rights of Bengali nation from the clutches of the formidable foes and colonial rule. Imprisonment or torture could not tame or frighten the courageous Bengali nation. Without submitting to repression, oppression, persecution, and conspiracies, the valiant leader of immense moral strength and spirit marched forward with heroic valor for the emancipation of the Bengali nation. In course of long 23 years of struggle for freedom, he emerged as undisputed leader of the Bengali nation, which found a superhero in Sheikh Mujib, who declared in a confident voice of thunder on 7th March 1971.
এবারে সংগ্রাম আমাদের মুক্তির সংগ্রাম এবারে সংগ্রাম স্বাধীনতার সংগ্রাম
After a long 9 months of bloody war of liberation, the scarlet sun of independence rose in the eastern sky of Bengal on the 16th December 1971. A new state named Bangladesh was born. In 1973, then government founded the University Grants Commission to monitor and streamline higher education sector of Bangladesh. BDRN is the offshoot of Higher Education Quality Enhancement Project, HECEP, a Bangladesh government and World Bank joint finance project, which was implemented by University Grants Commission, UGC, under Ministry of Education. The creation of BDRN came as a fulfillment of the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister of building a digital Bangladesh within shortest possible time. BDRN, Bangladesh Research and Education Network, came into being as a fulfillment of that cherished dream. BDRN came with the objectives of building and operating a high bandwidth, highly available, secure network, delivering networking services with cutting-edge technologies, providing cost-effective and best-in-class services, connecting with regional and global rents, introducing innovative services for research and education community. BDREN has already taken over more than 150 institutions under its belt, as its members including 45 public universities, 57 private universities, 13 medical colleges, 13 research institutes, and 17 higher secondary colleges. In the process, BDREN has extended its high-speed quality connectivity to universities, research institutes, and medical colleges across the country. Since the invasion of the pandemic in the country, BDREN has been providing the facilities to all the universities, both private and public, to conduct online classes free of cost using video collaboration, Zoom application, and its data center computing resources. During the last 1.5 years, more than 18,000 faculty members conducted 1.6 million classes with a total duration of 1.8 million hours, participated by 80 million students. Since its inception, BDREN conducted scores of international trainings, workshops and seminars attended by domestic and overseas NREN and community engineers, professionals and other dignitaries. A few of the prominent ones are Meet BDREN in 2015 and 16, TAIN 4 launching program in 2015, and Asia Connect launching in 2017. With all these development in country's research and education sector, BDREN is pleased to announce the hosting of the APAN 53 conference in March 2022 and would like to invite you all to join this auspicious event to make it engrossing, participative, and effective. We bear the passion to organize the event physically at Cox's Bazar, which embodies the largest sea beach in the world. We still cherish the desire to behold you, the scenic natural beauties the country possesses, but the devastation of the apocalyptic pandemic might not let that happen. Even if we're forced to organize the event virtually, we pledge to make it as real as possible by giving you the wonderful touch and glimpse of the rich culture, prestigious heritage, riveting natural beauties, and envious hospitality of the people of the country. With all your blessings and cooperation, we will try to make the event enjoyable for you as well as a successful one. BDREN welcomes you all to APAN 53 in Bangladesh.
Thank you very much for patient hearing. See you all in our APAN 53 conference in Bangladesh. Thanks.
Mohammed, any last words?
No, welcome everybody.
No, welcome already in the video.
Yes. Okay, thank you very much
to
the great invitation.
Yes.
We really look forward to working with you on a really successful APAN 53. You're right, Indonesia have set a very good bar for us. I'm sure we will strive to reach it. We have had enough people saying thank you and closing the meeting. My job is to wish you all safe travels home, although I think many of you already are.
Yeah. We'll try our level best to organize this conference in a befitting manner.
That will be wonderful. Thank you all. Thank you all for your patience. We are running well and truly over time, but the General Assembly usually is a big and exciting session. And we'll work on the scheduling of it for future meetings. Thank you all and farewell. I wish you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Marcus.
Thank you.
See you.
See you.
Bye.